So I was going through a list of the supplements that I've taken, and I started at like 2020, because I want to go through the role that they've played for me personally. So this is basic list of stuff that I've taken since 2020. Shilajit, various herbs, magnesium, vitamin K, BPC 157, eye, brain, blood vessel, testosterone, peptide bioregulators, elk velvet, high dose vitamin C. I've messed with collagen, maca powder, pine pollen, MSM crystals, betaine, HCl, and pepsin for digestion, red light therapy. And I also put like EMF blocking sheet on there. So it's just like I was basically just going through and thinking like, okay, what are the different things that I've tried over the past 4 years, really? And I want to talk about like the progression that I went through with that, because I think it's something that is important to talk about. So in 2020, there's stuff going on like physically with me that I was like, okay, something needs to change, something needs to get addressed. And the supplements were like presented as something that could be beneficial or help that. I had always thought I want to be able to change without anything external, without anything in terms of supplementation. And so I'd always like resisted taking anything because I was like, no, I have the ability to do it myself without these. So eventually it got to the point where I was like open enough to be like, okay, I'm going to start trying to take some of these because I am more concerned with like actually getting to the point of getting better, feeling better, etc., than I am of just like holding on to trying to figure out how to do it on my own. And so I started to take those and did start to notice very beneficial effects with some of the ones that I was taking. Like it was a combination of the supplements that I was taking as well as the work that I was doing outside of the supplements that I was taking to like address kind of the aspect of like you being able to generate it yourself, right? So what happened was like to bring it up till now. So I've taken all those over the last 4 years to bring it up to present time. Like the only thing, oh, I forgot to add creatine on there, but that's not really, that was a different purpose. But the only thing that I take right now, I have creatine right there, but the only thing that I actually take is the Shilajit still from that list. That's the only thing that I take. And probably for the past I would say 5 months, that's all I've taken. And what really happened was over the course of that, like at the start, it was like I was worried about health and like the supplements were something that presented as something that could help. As my body started to feel better, the worry about my own body and about my own health started to decrease. So, and it got to the point where it's like, I legitimately don't think about needing a supplement because it's just like I can feel that my body's in a good spot, and it no longer feels like I'm worried about needing to take a supplement in order to help, right? And once it got to that point, it's like I felt that the need to continue getting those dropped off. And something that happened during that process as well was like the food that I was eating and the nutrition that I was getting from that also improved. It was like once I was aware enough to be like, oh, I'm like, so for me, it was cheat days, like 1 or 2 days a week, where it would be, and I've talked about this before, but it would be like, you know, pizza, ice cream, different stuff like that. It would be that like 1 or 2 days a week, and that would throw off my system, and I'd eat enough to like be very uncomfortable, right? And so once I started to address that, like that was part of it. There's also like mental emotional stuff in terms of like me figuring out what I wanted to do, remembering how to like put effort into things again, like there's a lot of stuff that went into it, right? But all of that, what I'm saying is like supplementation can play a role in that process, because I think a lot of times it's either like you supplement or you don't supplement, right? And what my personal experience has been is like they're a tool, just like anything else, right? They're a tool that we can use. That doesn't mean that we have to use the tool all the time. It doesn't mean that we have to like never use the tool. It's just something that we can use. And what I found is a good marker or metric is like if I'm not worried about it, then I probably don't need it. If I'm thinking about it or I'm worrying about it or I'm asking the question, then something needs to be addressed, whether it comes from like supplementation or from something else, right? But that's just like naturally, if you're asking the question about something, then you don't have the thing fully figured out. And so I think just for me, that's been a good metric to look at, like, you know, what changes, what adjustments do I need to make, and in terms of specifically like supplementation, is there anything that I need to take right now? And like moving forward, the biggest things would still be, or for me that I'm looking at, probably doing again, would be the bioregulators for specifically like the eyes, for the brain, mostly for vision purposes for those, because that is still something that I'm like, okay, I'm still working on addressing that. And I think that those can be a good supplement to what it is that I want to do with that. So it's not like pro supplement, anti supplement. It's just like, these are something that you can use, and looking at how your body is actually physically showing up is a good metric to use for what you need to dive into. And if you're not worried about it, there's nothing showing up, then there can also be a time when you don't need it, and you can just get it from the nutrition and what you eat from the food that you get.